They told you college was the key to success. Study hard, get accepted, graduate. Then boom, dream job, stable income, easy life. But they forgot to mention one thing. The world changed and nobody updated the playbook. Today's students are graduating with record debt and in some cases, no clear direction. That's not failure, that's the system. And it's time we start talking about a better way to do this. The truth is, education can still be a launch pad to your dreams, whether that's college, trade school, or an apprenticeship. But you've got to go into it debt smart. You've got to understand how money works, how scholarships work, and most importantly, how you work. Because if your plan is, I'll just figure it out later, well, that's not a plan. That's a Netflix series waiting to happen. And that's why we built Future Funded, a community of students, mentors, and educators who believe in you and each other. We're here to help you plan better, apply smarter, learn faster, and build a path that actually fits your life, not one that buries it in debt. Listen, you can do this. You can craft a winning plan. You can get scholarships. You can learn the financial game. You can build your future that way. And we're going to walk with you every step of the way because your dreams are worth pursuing and your education should open doors, not close them. This isn't the old way anymore. This is the Your Future Funded way. And it starts right now. Now that we've set the stage, let's break this down. Because to build a smarter future, you've got to understand the old playbook first. For too long, students have been taught to follow outdated advice about college, money, and success. Advice that made sense 30 years ago, but doesn't fit in the world we're living in today. For this next part, I want to walk you through the 10 key mindsets, the old way of thinking versus the new way that's helping this generation take control. Each one of these shifts matters. Each one can save you time, money, and years of stress. And together, they'll help you start building a future that's funded, focused, and free. Let's dive in. Old playbook point number 1, college was a guaranteed ticket to success. For decades, people said the same thing. Go to college and you'll be set for life. I specifically remember my parents and grandparents planting the seed in me when I was 5 years old. And maybe that used to be true when tuition was a few $100 a semester and you could pay for school with a summer job. But fast forward to today, the world changed and college costs exploded. Since 1990, tuition at a public 4-year college has jumped over 300%, while wages have barely budged, up only about 15 to 20% after inflation. That means college is costing more than ever, but the return on investment, that's shrinking. And believe me, I understand how painful that is to hear, but there is also tremendous hope and opportunity. And we are going to help you access both hope and opportunity. Right now, student loan debt in the United States sits at over $1.7 trillion, spread across more than 43 million American borrowers. That's not just a number, that's a generation trying to build their lives while carrying a financial anchor tied to their ankle. But here's the thing, education itself isn't the problem, it's the mindset. It's the sign up, borrow big, and hope it works out approach that's broken. Because the truth is, college can still be an incredible investment if you go into it debt smart. The new way is about strategy, choosing programs with real earning potential, applying for scholarships, and knowing your numbers before you ever sign that loan agreement. And here's the part that nobody tells you. There has never been more access to scholarships, grants, and online funding opportunities than there is right now. Every year, students leave billions of dollars in free aid and scholarships sitting on the table, simply because they never apply. In 2022 alone, high school graduates missed out on over $3.6 billion in federal Pell Grant funds they qualified for but never claimed, according to Forbes and the U.S. Department of Education. And beyond that, an estimated hundreds of millions of dollars in private scholarships go unclaimed each year because students don't know where to look or how to apply, according to the Education Data Initiative and the National Scholarship Providers Association. That's why Future Funded exists, to bridge that gap. We're not just about getting students into college, we're about helping them graduate empowered with options, confidence, and a plan for a compelling future. The old way was blind faith. The new way is financial clarity. The old way said, go to college and figure it out later. The new way says, go to college with a strategy and make your education work for you. Old playbook point number 2. loans were the default. Hey friend, can I be real with you for a minute? For years, the message has been the same. If you can't afford college, just take out loans. Everyone does it. And after hearing that over and over, it started to feel normal. Like debt was just part of the deal. But here's the truth that no one says out loud. The average student graduates owing over $38,000 in student loan debt. For some, it's $50,000 or even $100,000 if they go to graduate school. Across the country, more than 43 million people are carrying student loans, together owing over $1.7 trillion in debt. That's more than all the credit card debt in America combined. Think about that. And here's what makes it tough. The average monthly payment is about $500 a month. But starting salaries for many graduates haven't grown enough to keep up with how fast tuition has risen. So what happens? You start adulthood already playing financial catch-up. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the system told you this was normal. The old way said, just borrow what you need and you'll figure it out later. But friend, later always comes, and it comes with interest. Since 2000, college tuition has gone up more than 60%, while wages have only gone up about 15 to 20%. That gap, that's what traps people in repayment for decades. Now here's the good news, and it's really good news. There are more scholarships, grants, and resources available today than ever before in history. You don't have to borrow your way through school. You can plan your way through it. And when you bring the cost down through grants, scholarships, smart funding, and responsible choices, you instantly raise the value of your degree. Every dollar you don't borrow is a dollar you keep for the future. That's what Future Funded is all about, helping students make their education affordable, strategic, and empowering. We'll help you learn how to stack scholarships, transfer credits, apply for grants, and find programs that actually make financial sense. Because friend, real freedom isn't just about getting a diploma, it's about graduating with options, not obligations. The old way said, take out loans now and figure it out later. The new way says, plan smart, think long term, and make college work for you, not against you. Old playbook number 3, pick a major based on passion. Hey friend, can I tell you something I wish somebody had told me earlier? It's awesome to have passion. Seriously, don't ever lose that. But passion alone isn't a plan. See, the old way of thinking said, follow your passion and the money will figure itself out. But in today's world, that advice can get very expensive. Here's why. Not every degree pays the same. Two students can both spend $60,000 on college, but one walks into a $70,000 a year job while the other struggles to find work. It's not about talent, it's about demand. Right now, fields like engineering, nursing, finance, and computer science are offering salaries that are double, sometimes even triple what you'll find in lower paying fields. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow your heart. You should. But what I am saying is you need to bring your brain along for the ride. If you love art, education, or social work, awesome. But think strategically. Maybe you add a minor in digital design, business, or marketing. That way, you're turning your passion into something sustainable, something that pays you back. Because here's the truth. Passion pays off when it's guided by purpose. You can build a life around what you love, but do it with a game plan. And friend, that's what Future Funded is all about. We want to help you connect your dreams with data, your excitement with strategy. Because when you line up what you love with what the world actually needs, that's when your education stops being a risk and starts becoming a launch pad. Old playbook point number 4, go straight to a 4-year school after high school. Now, if you're a young man or a young woman, please listen to this. For decades, people have said the same thing. You graduate high school, you pick a college, you move into a dorm, and that's the path to success. And maybe that worked back when college didn't cost more than a house. But the truth is that one path fits all mindset just doesn't work anymore. Today, the cost of an average 4-year degree can range anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 when you factor in tuition, housing, and interest on your loans. So before you lock yourself into that path, let's stop and think strategically. Because here's the reality, you have options. You can start at a community college, save tens of thousands of dollars, and still graduate with the same degree as someone who spent 4 years at a university. You can learn a trade, go through an apprenticeship, or complete a certification program that gets you earning faster, sometimes with less than a quarter of the cost. And don't let anyone tell you that makes you less than. In fact, many skilled trades are paying between $60,000 to $90,000 a year, and demand for electricians, welders, coders, and healthcare technicians has never been higher. That's not a backup plan, that's a smart plan. See, the old way said you have to go straight to a 4-year university or you're falling behind. The new way says take a step back, plan your path, and pick the route that gives you the most opportunity for the least cost. At Future Funded, that's exactly what we teach: how to compare programs, how to transfer credits, and how to make smart financial decisions before you ever take out a loan. Because college shouldn't be about rushing, it should be about positioning. As a young man or a young woman, I want you to hear me on this. It's not about how fast you start, it's about how strong you finish. When you take the time to plan your education the right way, you don't just save money, you set yourself up for freedom, stability, and choice. So remember this: the old way was a race, the new way is a roadmap. And if you follow it wisely, you'll still cross that finish line, but without the weight of debt slowing you down. Old playbook point number 5, accept the first aid package offered. Now listen, friend, when those college acceptance letters start rolling in, they don't come with just excitement, they come with fine print. Inside that congratulations envelope is something called a financial aid package. And for a lot of students, that's where the confusion begins. Because the old way said, whatever the college offers you, just take it. They know what they're doing. But let's be honest, colleges and universities are not charities, they're businesses. Their job is to fill seats, secure funding, and keep their operations running. That doesn't mean they're bad. It just means that you've got to understand they're looking out for their bottom line, not yours. And that's why you can't assume an admissions counselor will advocate for you the same way a third party like Future Funded and our community would. An admissions employee works for the university. Their goal is enrollment. Our goal is you. We exist to help you navigate the system with clarity, confidence, and strategy. Because no one should have to figure this out alone. And here's the part most people miss: financial aid isn't free money. It can be a mix of grants, scholarships, work study, and yes, loans. And the loan part? That's money you're borrowing from your future self. You'll pay it back, often with thousands of dollars in interest. So when you see financial aid on paper, don't assume it's a gift. Some of it's debt dressed up as help. That's why it's critical to slow down and really read your aid package. Compare schools, ask questions, and negotiate. If your family's situation has changed, or if you've received better offers elsewhere, don't be afraid to ask for more. Students who speak up respectfully and strategically often unlock thousands of extra dollars in free money. That's not luck, that's knowledge. The old way said, accept whatever you're given. The new way says, understand the offer, question it, and make sure it truly serves your future. At Future Funded, we'll teach you how to break down your financial aid letter line by line, spot the traps, and find the funding that doesn't follow you for decades. Because when you reduce what you borrow, you increase what you keep. And that's how you build real freedom. Future leader, remember this: you can't depend on a system built to serve itself, but you can depend on yourself and a community that believes in your future.